everyone. My name is Shari Bramble, and I will be manning the mic this evening. I would like to invite all Rotarians and Rotaractors to join me in saying the four-way test. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendship? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you. Dame Susan Duggan, the Governor General of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the Honorable Dr. Ralph E. Gonsalves, Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Honorable Dr. Godwin Friday, Leader of the Opposition and Mrs. Friday, Honorable Carlos James, Minister of Tourism, Civil Aviation, Sustainable Development, and Culture, on DG Brian Glasgow, Partner in Service Janice Glasgow, PDG David Edwards, IPDG Leslie Ramdani, PDG Roger Bose, DGE Debbie Rupchan, AG Bantu Campbell, District Secretary Annette Mack, President of the Rotary Club of St. Vincent, Mikasha Kramsaran, President Glynis Hay, Rotary Club of St. Vincent South, President Ramona, Rotaract Club of Kingston. I now welcome to the podium past President Janelle Allen to address everyone.
Thank you, PP Shari. Welcome, everyone. A pleasant evening, and thank you so much for making the time to be here with us this evening. We are very excited about tonight's ceremony. It marks a very special start for us, the Rotary family, particularly the Rotary family in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. A night that is very special to us when we will install, for want of a better word, our very own district governor, Brian Glasgow. We thank all invited guests, dignitaries, and everyone here, everybody who has traveled from a good distance, those locally who have made the time to share with us this evening. Tonight, the theme for this Rotary year, every year we have a new theme. So this year's theme is Create Hope in the World. And together with the rest of District 7030, which spans from the ABC Islands in the north to Suriname in the south, we are indeed hoping to create that hope in the world through our projects, our partnerships, and spreading our Rotary story. So thank you all for being here as we begin this fantastic year together as a Rotary family throughout District 7030.
Thank you so much for that warm welcome, past President Janelle. I will now call upon past District Governor David Edward to give some remarks.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Honorable Prime Minister, and friends. Following the established protocol, I was asked to give a brief synopsis of what the district means since we are installing a district governor, and to some, just to create the relevance of what it is. So, Rotary International is one of the largest service organizations in the world, and its stated mission is to provide service to others, promote integrity, and advancing world understanding, goodwill, and peace through the fellowship of business, professional, and community leaders. It is non-political and a non-religious organization. Membership is by application or invitation and based on various social factors. There are over 46,000 member clubs worldwide with a membership of 1.4 million individuals known as Rotary members. To administer these members and set in the context, the organization is broken down into 34 zones and 533 districts around the world. Districts like ours connect clubs with each other and, importantly, the resources from Rotary International. They also train club leaders, facilitate programs such as Rotary Youth Leadership Awards and Rotary Youth Exchange to ensure that Rotarians get the most from their membership and shine as leaders in the community. This district officially started in July 1st, 1974, known then as District 404. Prior to that, we were considered non-districted clubs, and I guess that name suggests exactly what we were, floating, non-districted. Attempts started in 1972 to bring clubs so designated together under the chairmanship of now PDG Fred Lamb of Trinidad and St. Kitts. A conference was held in St. Kitts in 1973 with attendance from all over the Caribbean, and this is the Caribbean from the Bahamas right down to French Guiana. And a resolution was passed requesting Rotary International to establish a district. Hence, District 404 was formed, and PP past District Governor Dr. John Watts of Grenada was the first district governor, and the first conference was held in Port of Spain, Trinidad. The district then became 4050, the new designation, in June 1981, because its size dictated that there was a split between 40040 and 4050. So we split with from the Bahamas down to Anguilla being 4050, and we remain 4040. So then, because of number changes and so at Rotary International, the name was finally changed to 7030 in July 1992. At this time, the countries that now make up District 7030 are St. Kitts and Nevis, Antigua, Montserrat, Guadeloupe, Dominica, Martinique, St. Lucia, Barbados, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, Suriname, French Guiana, and recently from 2017, Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. The district is led by a district governor, and that's why we're here tonight, who provide leadership and motivation and guidance to Rotary clubs under the general supervision of the RI Board of Directors. And governors act as officers of Rotary International, fostering achievement in their district at the club level. Each governor visits or is required to visit every Rotary club in the district. I think we have 75 now. And with the current problems of air transport, that's a challenge. To draw attention to the important Rotary issues and provide special attention to weak or struggling clubs. The purpose of these visits is to motivate Rotarians to participate in service activities and personally recognize the outstanding contributions of Rotarians in the district. Of a special note here, there are only two, since 1974 to now, only two persons have served twice because of death of others, and one such Rotarian who served twice was the first and only so far governor from St. Vincent, Richard Joachim. So Brian is now going to be the second from St. Vincent. For this evening, therefore, we are expanding that loop which started with PDG John Watts by welcoming officially our district governor for 2023-2024, Brian Glasgow. Welcome, Brian. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that bit of history, PDG David. I will now welcome the immediate past district governor, PDG Leslie Hamdani, to the podium.
Good evening, friends. Excellency, Governor General, Honorable Prime Minister, Ministers of Government, my colleague governors, especially invited guests, Rotarians. Yes, my term has come to an end finally. When our past president came to office last year, she said, you have 525,600 minutes to accomplish the goals for the year. But that expired at the end of July. And my good friend, end of June, sorry. Yeah, end of June. And my good friend Brian has taken up the reins from the 1st of July. So we are doing the formal part of the handing over here this evening. And thank you all for being here. The highlights of the district events are really this event this evening, the handing over to the current district governor, the new district governor, and of course the district conference. So this is the first main event of the district, handing over of the mantle of leadership to District Governor Brian. But I must tell you that our last president, or past president, Jennifer, her theme was imagine. She asked Rotarians to imagine Rotary. And when one starts to imagine, one can think of many things. She asked to dream. She asked us to dream. Dream of the many possibilities that are there. Dream of the possibilities that we can convert to reality, all towards improving lives of our fellow human beings. Improving the lives of those who need us to help them to improve themselves, to give them opportunities that they never had. But we as Rotarians, we are blessed with lots of opportunities. And our leadership from year to year of Rotary International keep asking us, ensuring that Rotarians, you need to be on the ground, you need to take action, you need to go out to ensure that the lives of our persons, of our people are improved. And so, the ascension of District Governor Brian Glasgow to the leadership is a means of the continuation of the priorities of Rotary. Remember, we are all persons who are committed to service. And this is what we are expected to do. Commit our lives to improving the lives of others who are not as fortunate as we are. My year of service, July 01, 22 to June 30th, 2023, was indeed a very eventful year. I was given the opportunity to visit every club in our district, every one of our 75 clubs in our district, physically, one-on-one. And it is amazing to know the diversity that exists in our district, from country to country, from club to club. And Rotary is so successful because we can embrace that range of diversity to commit our members to doing good in the world. This is why we are successful. And every governor needs the support of every Rotarian to accomplish the goals and ideas of the President of Rotary National and of our District 7030. I want to tell you it has been a fantastic year for me. I have seen Rotarians doing projects that I never thought we can do. I have seen Rotarians committed throughout the length and breadth of the district. Yes, there may be a few exceptions who may not have performed as remarkably as others, but generally the performance was there, and I can proudly say that we have improved lives in our district. I want to thank the Governor String. Some of you are here, and the others who could not be here tonight, for the wonderful support that you have given me throughout the year. It has made a big difference in my life. It's certainly visiting all the Rotarians and the support that you gave me during my various visits really has expanded my Rotary experience. It's a wonderful experience. And Brian, as you already have taken up the mantle, and I'm sure you have started experiencing the Rotarians throughout the district, it is meaningful and encourages us to encourage Rotarians to do more good in the world. Our past president said, we should not imagine yesterday, but we must imagine tomorrow. Let's not think of the past, but let us move on. Let us take action to imagine what we can do tomorrow for people in the world. And so, Brian, while we imagined Rotary last year, we want you this year, as your president says, to imagine how you can create hope in the world. So it's my pleasure to ask you to come up to join me here so that I can certainly place the pin of leadership on your lapel as the district governor. We always need a female touch to assist us in these things. Eh? My pleasure.
Thank you, everyone. And traditionally, my first duty as a newly pinned district governor is to pin the outgoing district governor with the emblem of past district governor, PDG, past district governor, not past dead and gone.
A great, rounding, loud applause as he assumes leadership of this great district. Thank you.
Thanks again, everyone. And my second duty is to pin an assistant governor for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. That is someone who typically assists the present governor in carrying out the duties in each territory. So in each territory, I will appoint at least one assistant governor. And for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, I don't have the burden of a cabinet prime minister. And it is my pleasure to appoint Mr. Bantu Campbell as assistant governor. Congratulations, Bantu Campbell. I would like at this time to invite the presidents of the 3 Rotary entities in St. Vincent and the Grenadines to join me to be introduced to everyone present. Starting with the president of the Rotary Club of St. Vincent, Mikasha Ramsaran. The president of the Rotary Club of St. Vincent South, Glennis. And the president of the Rotary Club of Kingstown, Ramona. Gentlemen, do you see a trend going on here? We've got some catching up to do. But this is the face of Rotary in St. Vincent and the Grenadines for the next year. Please give them a round of applause. Thank you, ladies. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I was going to say something, but I was reminded by past district governor David that Rotary is not a political organization or religious. I'm glad to see that someone was paying attention. But ladies and gentlemen, unlike other organizations, including some political and some religious organizations, we choose our successors in advance for the next 2 years. So we already know who will succeed me next year, and we already know who will succeed that person the following year. Unfortunately, the person who will succeed in 2 years' time had some travel challenges from St. Lucia and could not make it. Blame Inter-Caribbean. But my successor next year, who now becomes district governor-elect, is Debbie Rupchand. From Trinidad and Tobago. So this is the district governor-elect who next year will become the district governor for District 7030. And she already has a pin. One of the benefits of being district governor, ladies and gentlemen, is that the district governor gets to choose the location in which the district conference will be held. And the district conference is an annual event that brings together Rotarians from our 75 clubs in 17 different countries, speaking 3 languages, English, French, and Dutch. So many of you all already know this, but it is my pleasure to now officially announce that the district conference in 2024 will be held in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The district conference is an opportunity for Rotarians. The typical attendance ranges between 300 and 700. We would like to get closer to the higher number. St. Vincent has never, ever held a district conference before. And it is an event in which every single Rotarian plays a part. It is an event, well, it is an event that requires the support not just of Rotary, but of government, the Ministry of Tourism in particular, and Minister James. We look forward to the support, moral, financial, and otherwise, of of the Ministry of Tourism when we hold our district conference. Imagine if our attendance were 500. Just the attendance fee, just the registration fee of approximately $350 is going to create a benefit to the economy in excess of 1 million EC dollars. And we haven't even started hotels yet. Rotarians outside of St. Vincent tend to be richer people. And when the Rotarians from other countries like Guadeloupe, Suriname, and so on come, they spend money. They don't just attend the conference. They go on tours, they play golf, they go boating, they spend money. And a district conference can bring immediate benefits to the country of several $million. In addition to that, and this is based on statistics, Rotarians who attend district conference in a country, most of them return to that country afterwards with their families, friends, and colleagues for vacation. So what we are looking at here, guests and fellow Rotarians, is a significant revenue-making opportunity for our country. And as Rotarians, I think we are extremely proud to be part of that. We have appointed a district conference committee led by the very talented Shafia, who unfortunately could not be here, but including a number of Rotarians and members of the Rotaract family who will work together to make sure that we have an event that is second to none. In addition to the district conference, we have a district team of senior Rotarians from across the district who will be performing various roles. District Secretary is Rotarian Annette. She's somewhere in the back, and I know that Rotarian Annette and Rotarian Peter spent a lot of time planning the event, helping with the logistics, and even doing the decorations up to this afternoon. So thanks to them. Our district treasurer is my colleague, Rotarian Ruben. And we have a number of Rotarians from St. Vincent and the Grenadines on the Rotary district team this year, including Felicia, who could not be here with us tonight. She's on vacation. And a Rotarian who will be playing a very special role. Because this year, Rotary International, the president of Rotary International, has asked us to focus on mental health. Mental health affects every single one of us directly or indirectly. And it is an area which we've been asked as Rotarians to focus on, and it is an area which practically every club in the district has agreed to support. We will be in communication with the Ministry of Health and the Environment to assist and support our efforts at promoting mental health in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And we will be spending time and financial resources to improve the mental health of our citizens. And we have selected one of our young Rotarians from St. Vincent and the Grenadines to lead the district efforts of mental health. And that is Rotarian Alyssa Alves, who will lead the entire district mental health efforts. So, as you can see, Rotarians from the clubs, from the Rotaract family, have accomplished in many areas. Just recently, young Benava Brown from the Rotary Club of St. Vincent South was appointed as a senator. And we congratulate Ms. Benava Brown on that remarkable accomplishment. And we expect that she will continue to work as a Rotarian, bearing in mind that she should do so without political favor. It's interesting that I heard this from a friend. I don't know whether it's true or not, but I understand that the morning that her appointment was announced, the Prime Minister was on a radio program, and he announced that a young person would be appointed a senator later that day. Well, what he did say, it was a young, good-looking, intelligent person. And I don't know why, but I understand my good friend Annette Mark thought it might have been her. So, sorry, Annette, maybe next time. So, so, in closing, I would like to thank each and every one of you for being here this evening. Your Excellency, your presence really is inspiring to each and all of us. Prime Minister, it is always a pleasure to have you, and your support. Leader of the opposition, thank you for attending, Mrs. Friday. Your attendance also means so much to the members of this club, Minister James and Mrs. James, and every single one of you, every single one of us. It is good to see the support that Rotary has in this community. I can promise that as a Rotarian, not just as the district governor, but as a Rotarian, I will do my best to continue to ensure that Rotary plays its role day to day in making lives better for our citizens. For those of you who might have doubts about Rotary's reach, just think back 2 years ago, during and after the volcanic eruption. Within hours of the first eruption, past District Governor David, who you met earlier, who is the district disaster coordinator, had arranged a check of $25,000 to be sent to St. Vincent within hours. Our Rotarian colleagues from Grenada, past District Governor Leslie Ramdani, was on the wharf in Grenada, arranging a boat to be sent to St. Vincent with supplies of water, food, and other necessities. That was the morning after the first eruption. Our colleagues from Barbados sent over 100 water tanks, water. Our colleagues from Trinidad, our colleagues from throughout the region, throughout the world. The value of the support we got from just our Rotary colleagues exceeded $10 million, 10 million EC dollars. So that is what Rotary means to me. That is what Rotary means to all of us, and that is the impact of Rotary in our community. The same impact is replicated throughout the 17 countries in the district. And during the next year, as past District Governor Leslie said, it will be my pleasure to visit 17 countries, speak in 3 languages, in 75 clubs to do my job as district governor and to promote the value and the word of Rotary. So I look forward to that. I thank everyone for coming out tonight to support Rotary. And I would like to wish each of you all the best. And as was told earlier, our theme for this year is, and I almost forgot it, is, is to create hope in the world. So together, friends, Rotarians, let's all work together to create hope in the world. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that. I do feel happy and confident in DG Bryan leading our district to create hope in this world. I now at this time welcome the leader of the opposition to share some remarks with us this evening.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the Governor General, name is Susan Duggan, the Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, members of Parliament, past and present, and of course the officials of Rotary in this district, past and present officials. And of course, the man of the hour, Brian Glasgow, congratulations on assuming the position of district governor here in this region. It's, I learned a lot about Rotary tonight, to be honest, the organizational structure of it, the mission that Rotary has in the world as a large service organization that's been around for many, many years and seems to be growing. In a time now where we have so much trouble in the world, to hear you say that this organization is dedicated to service and to doing good in the world is a very refreshing thing to hear, because it seems so simple that sometimes people think it's naive. But it is the basis on which good comes into the world. And I want to urge you on in that mission, because we know around us we see so many things that are happening, some unprecedented, things that we have seen now that people 100 years did not witness. COVID pandemic, for one. War in Europe, that we thought was a thing of the past. So it seems to me that it is more urgent and important for Rotary and similar organizations and like-minded persons to succeed in that mission of doing good in the world. And I particularly like your theme for this year, that it's one that brings hope to the world. I want to wish you tremendous success in your mission. I see you looking kind of fit, but if you have to visit 75 clubs all over your district, it's going to be a very hectic task. And I hope and pray that you are able to accomplish it in exemplary fashion, in accordance with your normal standards. I know that the announcement of the conference here next year, I think that's a big deal. And I want to endorse that and to thank you for doing it here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, bringing the economic benefit of that major conference here. I wish also to congratulate you and to urge you on in the mission to do work on behalf of persons who are suffering from mental illness in our country. That is a problem, is a challenge that we all must confront, and at all levels. And I'm happy to see that you have taken this on. And again, I wish you tremendous success with it here. My, it's not advice, but it's my hope, my wish, my prayer that you will do so with urgency and dedication and the normal professionalism, usual professionalism that you bring to your task of providing service to this vulnerable group in our society that is too often overlooked. Thank you very much for inviting me to be a part of this wonderful exercise. And I'm looking forward to an invitation to the big event, the conference, sometime next year. All right, thank you.
Thank you so very much for your encouraging words, Dr. Friday. I would now at this time like to welcome our country's Prime Minister to the podium.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson, Your Excellency the Governor General, the Minister of Tourism, Carlos James and his dear wife, the Honorable Leader of the Opposition and Mrs. Friday, parliamentarians past and present, and the leadership of Rotary in the region. And of course, a very special greeting to Brian and his dear wife, and all those who are gathered here. I begin by congratulating Brian Glasgow on his appointment as district governor. He sounded, when the decorations of office, the symbols of office were put upon you, immediately it appeared to me you became transformed into a governor general, into a president. You know, you are speaking with greater authority than hitherto. And that bodes well for the next year. Of course, we know Brian's very sterling qualities, the most important of which he is a magnificent human being. A magnificent human being, stuffed with hope and faith, and the greatest of all, which is love. And I expect great things from Brian this year. I listened very carefully to the history of Rotary, but I haven't read up on Rotary, not just for tonight, because you know, when I was told, Brian, that you wanted me to say a few words, one of the first things you do is that you Google Rotary. Well, at least those who are sensible. So that you be prepared even though you're talking for 2 minutes. You don't want to put your foot in your mouth. I concluded that the first Rotarian, this wasn't in the Google information, but the first Rotarian I met in the book of Luke. And he had antecedents in the book of Exodus. A Rotarian poses and answers the question, who's my neighbor? And the neighbor is everybody in the world. And your the first Rotarian had to be the Good Samaritan on this dangerous road to Jericho. And we are in a period in global affairs, and regional and national affairs, where we have to set about very carefully to rearrange the relationships between the state, the market, civil society, including Rotarians, the Rotary clubs, the region, and the world. Because old models of thinking and doing things have to be reformed in this period of extraordinary turmoil and convulsions. And that is why we have to respire. It is a time of respire. In the case of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, after COVID, volcanic eruptions, Hurricane Nelson storms, and global turmoil. Respire is a beautiful old English word which went into disuse at the time of the Glorious Revolution, after the Glorious Revolution, so-called in 1688. Maybe the British didn't have much hope after 1688. That's why the word went into disuse, but it means essentially fresh hope after all these convulsions. And I'm very pleased to see that Rotary, like the government, has embraced fresh hope for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, our region, our hemisphere, and our world. And I assure you of the continued and ramped up cooperation between the Rotary and other civil society organizations and the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I want to assure you of that. And you will get a lot of support April next year when you bring a number close to 700. A lot of hotels are opening. Sandals will be opening hopefully in February next year. That's 303 rooms. But we have to book Sandals early, you know, Brian, because it's going to be filled up fairly quickly. And then there are lots of local hotels. I understand a new one recently opened, Maya Suites, is doing quite well, and others. So we're going to have the rooms, and I'm sure that some of your visitors may even like to stay in Beckway, and we just have to transport them properly on the morning and the evening, if that is required, and so on and so forth, so that they get the whole. As you were talking, my mind was racing as to the possibilities which my brother Ramdani from Grenada was talking about. And these possibilities reside in the genius of our people. And I'm sure that we are going to put on a pretty good show in April next year. Hopefully, we may have a dry run in February or thereabouts when we hold the handover summit of CELAC, 33 states, representatives of 33 states of the Caribbean and Latin America. We may be doing that in February. So if these things go according to plan, we will have a good dry run there, Brian, and no president of CELAC would be given any treatment superior to that given to El Presidente, the governor, the district governor. I really want to thank you for inviting me. Um, and just, just in case, and I want to say this, that I, any question is asked, you invited me, everybody is dressed up in jacket and tie, and I'm in Guayabera. I specifically asked my secretary to inquire whether the Guayabera is reasonable dress for this evening, and I was told yes. So I want everybody to know that I'm not insulting the president. Thank you very much, and all the best to you, Brian, sincerely from the bottom of my heart. But I want to say just one thing. With this lovely piece of bling, as the I think in order for it, you can't be a cheapskate. You have to buy additional beautiful jewelry for your wife to connect with this sort of a thing. I'm making a plug for you there, girl. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you so much for your vote of confidence. I would like to welcome AG Bantu to the podium to deliver some acknowledgements this evening.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As previously mentioned, my name is Grant Campbell. I'm the past president of the Rotary Club of St. Vincent South and the newly appointed assistant governor of District 72 in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I was given the privilege of acknowledging distinguished guests, distinguished Rotarians, distinguished Rotaractors, and everyone involved in making this ceremony a success. This occasion is a milestone for the nation. In 2023, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and by extension, Vincentian, are responsible for leadership positions in service. The District Governor of District 7030, DG Bryan, Regional Monetary Policy and Oversight, the Chairman of the ECCB Monetary Council, Honorable Camilo Gonçalves, Regional Integration, the President Pro Tempore of CELAC, the Honorable Dr. Ralphie Gonçalves, and in sports, the President and Director of Cricket at Cricket West Indies. Yes, Cricket West Indies. I know there's a bit of tension when I mentioned the West Indies, but don't be dismayed by the temporary turbulence. Oh, okay. That's a sign of change. I foresee smooth sailing in the foreseeable future, and this was written before I knew they won today. So the district governor position, I think, is the icing on the cake. I mean, one can say this is a coincidence, but I think it's an objective indicator of the confidence in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And it would be remiss of me not to mention these simultaneous achievements. Also, PR would be disappointed if I didn't have preliminary comments and I failed to mention the West Indies cricket team. Okay, so now the feature presentation. I first have to acknowledge the presence of the following individuals. Dame Susan Duggan, the Governor General of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Honorable the Dr. Ralph E. Gonçalves, Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Honorable Dr. Godwin Friday and Mrs. Friday, Leader of the Opposition, and Honorable Carlos James, Minister of Tourism, Civil Aviation, Sustainable Development and Culture, and your wife. PDG, David Edwards. IPDG, you seem happy to say IPDG, but Leslie Ramdani. PDG, Roger Bose, our newly pinned district governor. Brian Glasgow, and partner in service, Janice Glasgow. DGE, Debbie Rupchan, welcome. Yours truly, Bantu Campbell. District Secretary, Annette Mark, President of the Rotary Club of St. Vincent, Mikasha Ramsaran, President of my club, the Rotary Club of St. Vincent South, President Glennis Hay, President Ramona John Maloney, the President of the Rotary Club of Kingston, fellow Rotarians, yes, I'd like to thank you. I would like to thank IPDG Leslie Ramdani and PDG David Edwards for giving a history of Rotary. Your key performance indicator to know if you are successful as your message is if anyone in this room got a greater understanding of Rotary. And I'm pleased to announce that both the Prime Minister and the Minister of Opposition mentioned that they learned something new about Rotary tonight, so you were successful at your remarks. DG Brian Glasgow, I would like to thank you for emphasizing the contribution to the gross domestic product of St. Vincent and the Grenadines that is expected in 2024 by the District Conference. And I expect to hear the Rotary Club mentioned in the budget address for 2024. I would like to thank the Prime Minister and the Minister of Opposition for their brief remarks. And also, I would like to thank past President Janelle for the lovely welcome. I'd like to thank immediate past President Shari for being such a gracious MC tonight. I would like to thank the management of staff of Bungalow as well as Gateway for providing both the venue and the refreshments tonight. I would like to thank our photographer, Wave Life Productions, and our DJ, JR, the artist, and our reigning Raga Soca Monarch champion. A new event company was established today, and I'd like to thank this company. It's Annette and Peter Events. I would like to thank this company for the lovely decoration that we see. And I would like to thank Annette is also the district secretary. So she was involved in the planning of this event. I was invited to a group chat sometime this month, and I received a lot of messages between inception of that group chat and tonight. And I would like to thank you for having me on board and executing such a successful event. I would like to recognize immediate past President Kurt, and as mentioned earlier, immediate past President Sherry. And if you are in any way responsible for such a successful event, and I excluded your name, it wasn't intentional, but I would like to acknowledge you. So thanks again, everyone.
We're coming to a close. Does everyone have a drink? No? Annette, I'd like to welcome you to engage us. We're going to be toasting, so if everyone...
Good night, everyone. So they left the best for last, so thank you. Now, in Rotary, one of the things that we do is besides saying a number of things, do four-way tests, we also toast. And I really believe it's because we like alcohol, but we do toast. So I was asked to do the toast this evening, and I am going to ask you to please lift your glasses with me. Fellow Rotarians, friends, please lift your glasses to the people and government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And you're supposed to take a sip because, Prime Minister, I was listening to you at the last event. You need to taste the alcohol. All your senses must experience the alcohol. You must see it, smell it, taste it, feel it. Right, so. And you need to knock the glass to hear it. I was listening. I would also like to raise a toast to Rotary International. Rotary International. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Oh, please enjoy the live entertainment.